Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, it's Friday. Welcome to the Josh Guillory Show. I am your grateful, very, very thankful and grateful host. And in studio with me, Q Magiclicious. Yeah.
Good afternoon.
Man, good afternoon, my man. All right, guys, we're broadcasting live from the KPEL studios here in Lafayette, Louisiana. Who's going to win the chat battle? We're broadcasting also live from rumble.com, the Josh Guillory Show, and we're broadcasting on our YouTube channel. Go to YouTube as well, youtube.com and the Josh Guillory Show. Shout out to our KLFY Plus viewing audience. Q, we streaming on my X?
We are.
Yep, go to my X page as well, at Josh Guillory USA. All right, so... man, we got any one of these topics we were talking about. Any one of these topics we could spend the whole week on.
Yep.
But definitely the whole show on. So let's go to our friend in New York, Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, AOC. Well, apparently AOC's been a little busy. She's busy, man. So AOC's campaign poured nearly 50 grand into Puerto Rico over the summer. I didn't know she represented Puerto Rico. Well, she poured in 50 grand on luxury hotels, expensive meals, big fat venue rental at the same San Juan Arena where she was spotted living her best life at a Bad Bunny concert. Come on, AOC. There we go. All right, so a few little facts here. Now, her campaign, this is all public information. Her campaign's third quarter FEC filings, they show about $15,000, over $15,000 spent on lodging at 2 luxury hotels in the San Juan area. Oh, including the Hotel Palacio Provincial and Hotel El Convento. That's nice. Two of them. Okay, cool. Never been there. The same filing shows about $10,700 to be specific, spent on catering and meals in Puerto Rico. Woo! Including high-end restaurants in San Juan. The filing also shows more than $23,000 listed as venue rental at the Coliseo de Puerto Rico, the same arena tied to Bad Bunny's residency shows, including the date AOC attended. Just a few little facts, just a pesky little facts. Social media video, by the way, from that trip showed her visiting a housing development in Puerto Rico to rail against, this is so, oh my gosh, yeah, I forgot this part. So they show this video where her like railing, I'm talking going off on gentrification, okay, which, man, people, we could talk all about gentrification. While other footage shows her dancing in box seats, I mean, this is the same, you're posting it at the concert alongside Representative Velasquez. I always butcher her name, shocker. Now, her campaign manager, AOC, says she regularly travels to Puerto Rico for local causes and events that require staff and security. The same filing period also reflects additional high-end spending stateside. Don't worry, it's okay. Puerto Rico's part of the country, but stateside as well in the continental United States, including thousands on boutique hotels and a string of pricey restaurant tabs tied to her travels. Come on, AOC. And this whole gentrification thing it's a left-wing thing. I'm not saying someone didn't think about it in good faith. I'm not saying that. But gentrification, if you start pouring too much money in an area, then it cost of value, whatever it is, whatever your left-wing theory is to get you here. But basically, the cost of living in an area where people are poor ends up becoming so high that they can't even afford those areas. And it's interesting, okay? I think that's the whole gentrification thing paints with a broad brush like many of the left-wing talking points and initiatives that feel good. Make an acronym, too, out of something, Make it feel real good. But I never knew. And they started that in Lafayette, too. It's like, okay, the North Side. Nobody ever invested in the North Side. Yeah, I agree. I agree. I saw the books. Public information, by the way. I don't know if the media knows that. So we invest like, I don't know, $200 million, I think, in districts 1 and 5, city districts 1 and 5. Fact check me if you want, something like that. And then we start getting pushed back. The same people in that area that were saying, no one invests in the North Side. Well, we go invest in the North Side. Gentrification! I don't get it. But anyway, I digress. But AOC, she's big against gentrification. Gentrification, bad. You don't want that. All right, so this is the part that makes us conservatives kind of laugh, but small dollar donors kind of groan, okay? All right, the regular folks, the people that work hard, that believe in her message. Hey, we can disagree with the message, but she has a message. Her message is not illegal. Her message is just wrong. And it just doesn't work. I mean, look, hey, go to a country. AOC, just go to a country that does all your silly stuff. Tell me how it's going. Or just go live there if they'll take you. Seriously, if they'll take you. Ireland's taking people. I mean, really, you just go to Ireland. Just go to Ireland. I want to go to Ireland. I think it would be so fun. I mean, it seems pretty.
Beautiful country.
Been there one time for about 3 hours. From Kuwait to Alexandria to England Air Force Base, or whatever it's called now, Alexandria Air Park or whatever. And we went from seeing nothing but tan to seeing a whole bunch of green for refueling. And the pilot was so kind. These Joes coming back. He was kind to announce one little announcement we had all kind of didn't expect to hear. He said, "Gentlemen, we're refueling, and the bar is open." Now, I don't know if that was the proper thing to say to folks coming back who hadn't consumed. Well, those of us who follow General Order Number 1 did not consume in country. Some of us made up for it that day. Woo! Glad I don't drink anymore. Anyway, I'm going to be quiet. All right. But yeah, so look, here's the part that makes us kind of laugh, though, but really makes the people that look to AOC and are inspired by her kind of really hurt their feelings, probably. Seriously, genuinely. My feelings would be hurt. But here's the funny part. AOC, she brands herself as the champion of the working class. I mean, think about it. She brags about the average donation being around $20. She's trying to beat Bernie's $27. She rakes in over $15 million a quarter, by the way. She talks like every dollar came from a waitress, a pipe fitter, and a single mom who skipped Chick-fil-A to support the movement. Come on, man. Can't make this stuff up. All right, guys, it's Friday. We're going to be right back, and I can't wait. Stick around. The Josh Guillory Show, broadcasted live from the KPEL studios here in Lafayette, Louisiana. We're also live on rumble.com. Go to rumble.com, check out the Josh Guillory Show. You can also go to our YouTube channel, the Josh Guillory Show, over there at youtube.com, rumble.com. All right, Jeannie, got you? If it's Jenny, don't you fuss me. But you can fuss me. Tell me. I want to make sure I call you the right thing. But you win. Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon. Let me hear you over there. Let me see you over there at the Rumble chat. All right, here. Let's see here. Oh, and YouTube. You can chat us on that too, I believe. Yep, I'm seeing it right there. I get the North and South by Qlicious over there. He likes that. He likes to be called that now. It's going to be on the merch. Eventually, I keep talking. I'm going to talk it into existence. It's going to be there. Might be our best seller. You never know. Who knows? By the way, appreciate everybody that has bought, shirts? I think we had some shirts, some koozies some folks bought. Man, appreciate that. Hey, it helps the cause. You know, this operation ain't cheap. All right, so let's see here. Let's go to AOC. She's basically having a good time in Puerto Rico. You know, her constituents over there. Well, she has dumped in nearly $50,000 over the summer over in Puerto Rico, visiting Bad Bunny concerts, wining and dining in some luxury hotels and all that stuff. But, you know, she kind of brags on her average donor being $20. $20. Okay, well, it's $20. You know, they all come, like I said, right before the break, you know, pipe fitters, waitresses, single moms, single dads. And she has a following. People believe in what she actually says. Okay? All right. She's spending her campaign money. With all that in the background, like all what I just said in the background, she's spending her money like a celebrity on tour. Like this is like a tour, you know, you get what I'm saying? I mean, Puerto Rico is about 1,600 miles from her district, Q.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and not constituent work. This is not constituent work. This is political theater.
And my question with it is, if it's fundraising, which it has to be, how many small dollar donors did she bring with her?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, why don't you bring the folks that got you there? Why don't you bring them, you know? Jeez, if you're going to do it, that's a good one. That's a good one, man. But all this travel and vibes operation dressed up in activist language stuff, man, people see through that. Oh, and I got to go back to this. The cherry on top is this whole gentrification speech, okay? Paired with all the luxury hotels, the fancy catering, the venue rental at the concert arena. It's not accidental. It's not accidental, and it's very much on brand. Very much on brand. This is how the modern activist left acts. The modern activist left operates and works. They build a moral story. They sell outrage. They collect small dollar donations by the millions. Then they live like the very elite they claim to despise, and they call it organizing. I'm an organizer. Never knew what a community organizer was until President Obama came around. And I still don't know what a community organizer is. But hey, I guess it's whatever you make it. Organizing something. And maybe that's a good thing. I don't know. Maybe that's a good thing. Just don't know what they do. I guess if, like you said, the leader makes the title doesn't make the leader. I don't know. I'm trying to give him benefit of the doubt. All right, so and watch the but we're going back to like this is the norm, this is the play, this is what they do, not norm from Poche Bridge, but the norm for the left, you know? And watch the little trick that they pull, okay? Watch this. If you criticize the spending, they call you anti-Puerto Rico. If you criticize the venue rental, they call you anti-culture. Like, think about this. If you criticize the hypocrisy, let's keep going. They call you obsessed. That's the shield. It's always a shield and a distraction and a smokescreen. The whole point is to avoid the basic question normal people ask when they look at a report like this. It's the whole point. People who donate $20 don't picture boutique luxury hotels, okay? They don't picture gourmet restaurant runs. None of that. They don't picture arena rentals lined up with concert nights. What do you think they think of? Well, you've been there. We've all been there. They think of a regular campaign like yard signs, door knocking, voter outreach. All the things. Expenses of actually getting your message to the folks. They do not expect this. This is, man, where's my AOC lovers? Come on. You can still love AOC's policies and understand that this is just wrong. You can still be a lefty. You can still be a Green New Deal. You can still love the Green New Deal. But this is the thing. Can we at least acknowledge this? Is this not, like, you know what I mean? Like, can you at least acknowledge this for the folks? I mean, this is not about whether the spending was technically allowed. It is. I would imagine as he filed it with FEC, I'm sure an accountant went over. I'm sure it's legal. But that has nothing to do with it. It's about credibility. It's about trust. It's about a politician selling a working class image while spending like a high-end influencer. I mean, if you're going to preach about, if you're going to preach about gentrification and the evils of the rich, don't send the bill to your small dollar donors while you like go and party in your suite.
Amen.
Like, come on. Yeah, that's the whole game right there. Populism for the camera, luxury for the insiders, and the working people get treated like a doggone ATM. That's the best way I can say it. Here's your ATM. Americans should treat this as a simple lesson. The left's take this lesson. The left's eat the rich crowd. Notice how they always find a way to eat first. All right, guys, stick around. We'll be right back, and I can't wait because them phone lines are going to be open. Let's see it. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show. We're broadcasting live from the KPEL studios here in Lafayette, Louisiana. Also broadcasting live on rumble.com and our YouTube channel, The Josh Guillory Show. Also go to my X page at Josh Guillory USA. Shout out to the KLFY Plus viewing audience, man. Shout out to our friends over there at CSafe, too. CSafe.com, like S-E-A-C as in the ocean, CSafe. Appreciate you sponsoring this segment for sure and supporting the show, supporting the cause. The cause of common sense. I may not always be right, but I'll be real. That's why I like this segment. You know why? Because the phone lines are open. Let me hear from you. 232-1542. I want to hear from the ladies. Come on, now. We always get wisdom from our female callers, our lady callers. I want to hear from you, Miss Tony, all the crew. I know there's some more out there. Speak some wisdom to us. And if we're not going to get the ladies calling in, give me some crazy. I want to hear. Give me some crazy. I want to hear your wildness. It's Friday. Come on. I always start in on with the hey, Earth flat, Earth round, what? Aliens? What y'all want to talk about? Get crazy. Friday. Get extreme. Unless you're a lady. You can get extreme. Or you just call and speak common sense to us. That's what I want to hear. We got so many Republican women out here. I want to hear from them. All right, Q, let's go. Nope. All right. Warren, what you got, Warren? Bring the heat.
Well, I want to thank Miss Tony for letting us know what old Bill Cassidy was going to pull with all this $9 million he got. He's going to buy this election. Benedict Arnold, the Bill Cassidy, the whack. But I appreciate Miss Tony for letting us know the stuff they're going to pull. You know, and Josh, our leaders have failed us. None of them deserve a raise. They can't balance the checkbook. Look how much we're in debt. They give money to everybody overseas. You know, you're talking about AOC. $20. What about the Muslims? How much does the check she get from them? I bet you she got a bank account overseas, and it's loaded. But, you know, our leaders have failed us. And then our Supreme Court, we just threw a woman out for stolen valor, going to be a judge, lied to become a judge. You know, these people don't deserve to be paid by Jeff Landry the same as what a Supreme Court judge makes. None of our leaders deserve a raise. Let us count the ways how they've killed our family and friends. Thank you, Josh.
Oh, there we go. Thanks, Warren. I appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. I bet you a lot of folks kind of listen to that once we digested it and probably shaking their head with you. Appreciate you, bud. Okay, so phone lines are open 232-1542 on this beautiful Friday, at least from the studio here in KPEL. Beautiful, beautiful day. 232-1542, 844-766-6607 for our viewing and listening audience outside the Acadiana area, and we appreciate you as well. All right, let's go. I know. Yep. I think this is Mrs. Tony. Miss Tony?
Good afternoon.
Yes, you heard the call. It's like I put the Batman signal out. You see what I'm saying? I put the Miss Tony signal out, and now I get wisdom. I'm going to be quiet. Go ahead, Miss Tony.
All right. As far as the AOC goes, I cannot remember and I cannot locate on the internet because the first two pages are filled up with glorifying AOC. However,
yeah,
if you will recall, when she was first elected, there had been something in the works to bring a major employer to her congressional district, and they won it, and it was coming in, and when she found out, she said, these salaries are too high for this district. Does anyone remember this?
I remember something that if you go, Q, you do, don't you?
I think it was Amazon, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I was going to say Amazon. And she said it's not fair that these people should come in and make this kind of money when the people in my congressional district don't get paid that much. And you could have heard crickets as Amazon just picks up and goes to the next bidder.
I do. I didn't remember it was Amazon. And does she? And it was in her district. Does she know that those are jobs for her district? that her district would. I would
No.
Golly.
Obviously not.
Jeez. Miss
And
Tony,
I
keep going.
I think it was their second headquarters.
And I want to add some crazy to it.
Yes.
I want Renee to know that I couldn't find any men in the ladies' room, so I visited the men's room. Y'all had some very interesting pictures.
Yeah, Renee, you better respond. Hey, thanks, Miss Tony. You see, guys, I called for wisdom, and easily the most natural vehicle for that is a lady. And Miss Tony, she delivered. I didn't know if Miss Tony was listening, but faithful that she is, as we are, Miss Tony, as we are. Oh, thank you. Where's some other ladies at? Bring some wisdom to these folks, to me and Q. I want to hear from you. Or bring the crazy. It's Friday. We got to work through these things. I know deep down inside, someone's thinking, should I call? I've been thinking of this theory. You know, I heard that a Martian was living in the 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. Just bring it up. Where'd you hear it from? I don't care. Why not? It's Friday. Some of the stuff might make more sense than what we see out of Congress.
Definitely.
Come on now. Or some of the rogue, what some people are saying, rogue justices. Or not justices, judges. The justices seem to be doing pretty good. And you know, notice what the justices are doing. All they're doing is saying no. And it's not necessarily no to a person. They're just saying, man, what are y'all doing? The government's limited. Like this, everybody has their role. So you ever notice that? So I applaud them for just being true to the Constitution or the spirit of the Constitution. If you can't be true to the actual text, at least find the spirit of it, which is, separate but equal powers, checks and balances that are like legit, not this silly stuff. But I digress. All right, let's see here, man. When we're gonna take a few calls here, but I'll tease something. When we get off the calls, we're going to talk about Representative Omar. She's been back in the news over there at Minneapolis, the Twin Cities in Minnesota. All right, let's go to this caller. Caller, you are live on the Josh Guillory Show. What is your name and where are you calling from?
Will in Lafayette. You must have been reading my mind about Omar.
Oh, my God. Will, bring it. What you got?
So you're a lawyer, and it's really more of a question than anything else. But with everybody saying that Ilhan had married her brother to get in, and with her vehemently opposing that ever happened, wouldn't she have a really good defamation lawsuit for her against the people who are saying that? And if so, why hasn't she done that yet? Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Well, it makes perfect sense. I can answer that. Oh, you hung up? Oh, Will. Hey, Will, that's okay. Q hung up on you. Will, you can call back. Will always comes in very calm, cool, collected, and controlled as that, and always brings a punch. I love it. Always invokes thought. Okay, just generally speaking, so she'd have to show harm. Was she harmed? Okay, first of all, you got to show, was it true? Then you got to show, okay, it wasn't true. So what damages did she suffer? You got to show harm. And now this is in Louisiana, at least, okay? But then you got to want to do it. Sometimes the juice ain't worth the squeeze. I'm not here to defend Representative Omar by no means. But I'm just answering my friend Will's question, which was a good question. But it probably just wasn't worth it. Think about it. You probably can sue. See, I don't want to say that too loud because we kind of sue happy over here. I don't want to. I'm just saying to all my friends, I'm just saying. Anywho, let's go to this guy, Norm from Poche Bridge. What's up, Norm?
Well, expenses.
Yep.
But I also have a really bad joke for Friday.
Go for
and
it.
You probably know the punchline.
Okay, go for
it. What's the difference between God and a judge?
Tell us.
God don't think he's a judge.
That's right. Yeah, you might want to switch. Federal judge for sure.
Yes.
Federal judge for sure. Respectfully, judges. Respectively. It's a funny joke. Good, Norm.
It's an old one. You got to bring it up every once in a while.
Absolutely. Oldie but goodie. Hey, we say that in good fun. I don't want anybody with a black robe to get their little feelings hurt. You know, sometimes it can hurt our ears. But I'm not talking about anybody specifically. All right. Let's see here, guys. We'll take a tiny little break when we get back. Let's talk about Representative Omar. More specifically, what is her opponent saying? And kind of some questions. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show. Broadcasting live from the KPEL studios here in Lafayette, Louisiana. Also on Rumble.com, YouTube.com, and rebroadcast on KLFY+. Hey, guys, when strength matters, when custom matters, and when failure is not an option, C-Safe delivers. C-Safe builds FRP products designed to resist corrosion, cut maintenance, and outlast the competition in the harshest environments, offshore platforms, wastewater plants, everything in between. This is industrial performance that holds up where steel fails. And downtime costs real money. C-Safe understands that. And it's all American made right here in America. Actually manufactured right here in Acadiana by American workers. Check them out at csafe.com. That's SEA, just like the ocean. C-Safe. Appreciate you guys and appreciate what you do for your clients and customers as well. All right. Wonder what they could do for my Jeep. Probably a lot. All right, here. Oh, we got to go to this gentleman. Let's go to Mr. Bobby, 232-1542. Do you have Mr. Bobby's thing up? We made something.
No,
yeah. Hey, Mr. Bobby. What you got, Mr. Bobby?
Hey, JD. JD, you can talk to me, but you can't cut on me.
Yeah. You're right. Not
Hey,
legally.
here's a thing they left out of the Bible. You remember when God put Moses and his little gang in the desert for disobedience?
Yes.
So they walking along there. And Moses looks up, and God has a loud voice. So he says, Moses. He looked up there and he said, is that you, God? And Moses reached for his crotch and he said, you mean we get circumcised and the Arabs get the oil? Copy out.
Bobby. He's just saying. He's just asking. He was just asking. All righty. All right, so let's go to Omar. We'll probably cover this one in the next hour or two because this is just all right, so perfect note here. So here's the deal. Fox News Digital, so they're reporting that Ilhan Omar, that's a representative out of Minnesota, Minneapolis area, her Republican challenger is John Nagel, okay? Now, he's publicly at this point laying responsibility for the whole Feeding Our Future program, that little fraud scandal. He is laying that at Representative Omar's feet and saying that the connections, they're a little too deep to ignore. All right, so here's what's new, because we've covered this. We've covered the programs. It is absolutely abuse over there. I think she's just a puppet and she has no freaking clue. And they just kind of let her go do her little squad thing. Like, here you go. It's kind of like Pelosi would say, like, what'd she say about them? Like, let the children, basically let the children scream or whatever. Like, sit down, it's not your turn, you know? That's kind of how the puppet masters, I would imagine, treat Omar and Walls. But it's a Minnesota thing, I guess. I don't know. I guess now that I think about it, you know?
Goes with the accent.
Oh, man, you knocked on their accent. What do you think about what do you think they think about our accent?
Golden.
Thank you. Exactly. Oh, such a loaded question I gave you. Nailed it. All right, kind of like Norm nailed that. What's up? Expenses. Yeah, you're right. So we know about the fraud. And Nagel, her opponent, Representative Omar's opponent, he's not introducing the fraud itself. What he's saying is, because that story's kind of already known. We've established that. Jeez. So he's saying that the paper trail, the relationships, and also the legislation, they all point to Omar's political orbit, her ecosystem. Okay? He's pointing to the 2020 Meals Act that she introduced. It wasn't like she just voted on, she introduced it, which expanded the free meals program, later exploited in the Feeding Our Future scheme. He says that the fraud was concentrated in her 5th congressional district. He says people tied to the scandal donated to her campaign, which is true. Now, that doesn't mean much all the time. Some money was returned. Bringing those points up kind of dilutes your argument, in my opinion, because there's some things that she just can't control. Some things she can. Maybe she did. I don't know. Truth will play out. But he says one of her campaign associates is among the dozens indicted, and he's right. He says Omar held events and raised money at Safari Land, which is a restaurant named in the fraud case. He's right. Omar denies wrongdoing. She says that the fraud resulted from rushed COVID programs without guardrails. Well, if so, Congresswoman, you introduced the act, silly. What do you think happens? I mean, when you grow government and with no accountability. Anyway, guys, all right, stick around. We're going to take a tiny little break. Hour number 2 right around the corner, and I can't wait. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Josh Guillory Show. I remain your grateful host. Head in studio with me still, Q Magic over there. What's up, Q-licious?
Good.
It's a thing. I'm telling you, it's a thing. People like it. I just, I'm just saying. So, to my wife who's listening, yes, I will pick up pizza. Happily. It's one of my kryptonites. That and crawfish. Don't tell Dr. J. He fusses at me. I'm like, man, I'm only 42. What you talking about? I'm about to be 43. Anywho, let's talk about Omar. So this time it's, we were talking about Representative Omar. We talked about all the scams and schemes that are going over with her big government plans and all that stuff. Well, it's with the Feed Our Future program. We've covered that in detail. It's been all over the news. I guess what's new here is that John Nagel, who is her opponent, is really kind of connecting the dots a little bit. And, to kind of bring it like where this kind of lands, like to land it all for this, none of this is breaking news, of course. I guess he's just saying the quiet part out loud. And I feel, you see what I'm saying? And I feel like, putting on the record, I think that's he's not putting it on Twitter. He's putting his name to it. And that's, that should say something. Now, I think we've addressed that because I want to go to this next topic, healthcare. We're gonna talk about this probably extensively. Hopefully we get to your boy over there, Mayor-elect Mamdani. He's been in the news in New York. New York's handing CDLs out. I'm trying to get to all that story. But first, let's go to here. All right, so I'm looking at a New York Post piece by Samuel Chamberlain, if you want to look it up. It's regarding President Trump and speaking to Congress, basically, or speaking last night at the Congressional Ball. It wasn't in the East Wing. It's not built yet. Okay? Signaled at this Congressional Ball, he signaled that he's ready. He's ready to work with Democrats on health care, specifically rising insurance premiums. Trump welcomed Democrats in the room. He praised the moment. He said plainly that he expects the two sides to start working together on health care. That was a good moment for him. All right, so a few little facts here. He made the comments publicly, had all the lawmakers there, a lot of lawmakers there from both parties. But he focused narrowly on health care cost and insurance premiums, not ideology. He framed cooperation as practical and necessary. He didn't frame it as political theater. I mean, he seemed pretty genuine and pretty commonsensical. I think it's because he understands something Washington too often forgets. Healthcare is not a left-right talking point for families or businesses or any of that stuff. It's a monthly bill. Premiums keep rising. Deductibles keep growing. People, us normal folks, feel squeezed at every angle. Trump didn't promise a grand, bipartisan kumbaya moment. I don't think we can expect that. But he signaled openness to deal-making where it actually matters to the folks, to normal people. That tone, it matters. It matters, especially heading into a tough legislative stretch. This is going to be the next few months could be something. It shows confidence. It does not show weakness. But it also puts pressure on Democrats in Washington Democrats. If the president is publicly open to talks, the next move is theirs. The next move is theirs. All right, so let's connect that. We'll switch topics briefly, but we'll stay on the same topic. But let's connect all of that to what's actually happening in Congress, okay? Not just the executives' willingness, which I think is welcomed, okay? All right, so House GOP leaders, they're weighing whether to allow a vote on extending Obamacare. Their enhanced subsidy, or Obamacare's enhanced subsidies, as part of a larger Republican health care package. Now, this is not settled. It's messy. And it perfectly explains why Trump's comments matter. So, a few little key facts on the House fight. Okay, so then we're talking about the legislation. Okay, so enhanced Obamacare subsidies are set to expire at the end of the year. They currently benefit more than 20 million Americans. Okay, moderate Republicans, right now it will affect 20 million Americans. Okay, moderate Republicans, they want an extension to avoid premium spikes before the elections. Conservative Republicans want the subsidies to expire and have long opposed them. All right. Leadership, they're concerning, the 8 people that run Congress, probably 6. They're considering an amendment vote that would give moderates political cover, but is unlikely to become law. If Congress does nothing, premiums are expected to rise sharply for 22 million people. That's a lot. It's a lot. And I wonder how many businesses are covered with that as well. The only problem here with our dear Republicans over there, we've been in charge for 12 months now, almost 12 months, 11 months, just under 11 months. Not a great look. We could have had this fixed. Could have had this fixed a long time ago. Could have had this fixed when we started, like when we were sworn in. Could have had this fixed once we knew, and we said this on this show, when the Republicans maintained the House and the Senate and President Trump won. That election day, whatever it was, November 5th, give yourself a day. We said it, give yourself a day to be very grateful and rest. That next day, there should have been rooms filled with people working on actual legislation that the administration would support and that the president would sign into law. This one right here, that should have been won, because this is such an easy win for the Republican Party politically. If you want to think of it politically, this one's not a hard one. You already identified funding to transgender whatever studies in Turkey or whatever. If you can fund that, you can find a way to fund this. All right, so we're going to take a tiny little break. When we get back, let's talk a little bit more about what Congress is doing and so much more. Stick around. We'll be right back. back to the Josh Guillory Show. Hey, yeah. Broadcasting live from the KPEL studios, also broadcasting live from the mothership over there, rumble.com, youtube.com, the Josh Guillory Show. Shout out to our KLFY Plus viewing audience. I love KLFY Plus. Very cool little app. See some neat stuff over there. Local, like that. Regional, Southwest, South. That's actually a pretty big span. What am I talking about? It's KFY Plus. It's international. It's world. Even the aliens are watching it. Oh, man. Big world out there, All right. So talking about Obamacare, talking about the subsidies coming to a close December 31st, actually, if Congress doesn't do something. All right. So there's multiple bills that are floating around. Republicans have a broader health care package. They focus more on health savings accounts, a lot of HSAs, pharmacy benefit manager reforms, things like that. Democrats, House Democrats specifically, but Senate too, they want a clean 3-year subsidy extension. Like, we just want the whole thing and keep it on. What are you so basically nothing. The party of no freedom and no nothing. But they do travel well though. I mean, AOC shows us that. I'd be so ticked off if I was a $20 donor. I really would. I would be so just feel taken advantage of. Man. All right, so 2 bipartisan proposals. I want the folks to know what's out there. I mean, I don't want to just go talk noise. So 2 bipartisan proposals would extend subsidies for a shorter time with tighter eligibility. So none of these paths are easy, my friends. The Senate math is brutal. And, you got a House that is divided, literally. And, the thing is you got all that, but then everybody sees the cliff that is coming. So we got to talk about it, all right? Okay, so this entire debate, it does a lot of things, but it exposes the real tension, if you think about it. Real tension inside my party, the Republican Party. Okay, that's where the real discussions are happening right now. Now, conservatives, we are very right to be skeptical of temporary subsidies that become permanent programs. We have seen that. We can play that tape. We got the reruns. Moderates, they're right to worry about voters getting hammered by sudden premium spikes. Both concerns are legitimate. And that's why Marjorie Taylor Greene was right on her concerns. I felt like she was just representing her folks, you know what I mean? And pretending otherwise would be dishonest. And I know that this audience does not want dishonest conversations. Who wants that? People are tired of that. If they want that, just go to other places. That was nice. Trump's approach, like tightrope, okay? I'm talking about like threading the little needle here. I'm very impressed with his domestic tone, quite frankly, on this. But his approach threads the needle better than most people in Washington want to admit. He's not pledging blind support for Obamacare in any way. I want to make that clear. He's also not endorsing these endless subsidies, which also needs to be a point that is clear. He's acknowledging reality. Millions of people are on these plans right now, 22 plus million people. A sudden shock to premiums help no one. They don't help anybody politically. They don't help anybody practically. And at the same time, Republicans are trying to advance what appears to be real reforms. Like these are real things that can help real people, not paper people, that actually lower costs over time. They don't just mask with government checks. That does not help. And this is why the sequencing matters. That's why I let in with President Trump in the last segment. Trump signals an openness to talk. House Republicans try to hold their coalition together. It's okay. It's democracy. Democrats decide whether they want a policy solution or a political weapon. That's their choice. And everyone knows, look, a full repeal fight is not It's not happening. It's not practical. It's definitely not going to happen before December 31st. And everyone also knows that doing nothing carries real consequences, like for real 22 million people. And it's not about betraying. No one's betraying conservative principles. It's about applying them intelligently. Conservatives believe in competition. That's why this whole border around states on health insurance premiums, like if Blue Cross Blue Shield in California is better for a family in South Carolina, why can't they get it? I never understood why that passes the privileges and immunities clause test that the Supreme Court has given us over time as it relates to this argument. Privilege and immunities clause of the 14th Amendment allows us to basically travel around the country and enjoy the same benefits from one state to the other with some exceptions, but very, very, very small exceptions. And I never understood how health care and health insurance never, like, I don't understand how that argument doesn't apply. And I'm sure if this little country lawyer can figure it out, I am sure that there are much learned minds that have studied that and made that claim. But who knows? Like, really, who knows? Because we don't know if the courts haven't answered that question. I don't know off the top of my head right now. But we want to apply all of our principles very intelligently right now. And think about this. We as conservatives, again, competition's good, transparency. Cost control, okay, but what force? What force drives that? And right now, we're still leaning towards government is the one. Government's going to, yeah, you will look, no doubt, the government has the easy button. Just write a check. But forcing a short-term conversation about subsidies while pushing structural reforms fits governing in the real world, okay? We can walk and chew gum. And here's the part voters should pay very close attention to. If premiums spike because Washington plays some kind of like little game of chicken, all right, nobody wins. Nobody. Republicans don't win. Democrats don't win. The American family doesn't win. I'll tell you who else doesn't win. Let's talk about families. Families buying groceries, gas, insurance in the same month. How many of you guys are going grocery shopping this afternoon, Friday or Saturday? You feel it? And especially in Louisiana, you know all about insurance. We're talking about something else. Talking about health insurance. Just a little bit of, as the commissioner said on this program, just a little bit of his job is health insurance. But anyway, but nobody wins if they play all those little tiny little games. And Trump understands that instinctively. That's why his comments matter. That's why his words matter more than the Beltway drama around them. And that's what we see, a little drama. Playing games, man. And you're playing games with small business owners, too. You're playing games with small business employers that employ real people. All right, stick around. We'll be right back. And that phone line is open, and I can't wait. If these two folks stay on hold, I can't wait to hear from them. All right, we'll be right back. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show. We're broadcasting live on Rumble.com, live on YouTube, our YouTube channel, The Josh Guillory Show, and also KPEL Studios, rebroadcast KLFY Plus. Appreciate you guys. All right. Q, you okay over there?
I'm feeling good.
I like when the callers call in, see, because it's, one, I get to hear from the callers, but two, you got some action items going there. I see your hand in the background. I see their voice move. It's pretty cool stuff on Rumble and YouTube. You kind of see, like, behind the scenes. I like that. All right, let's go to Mr. Blue Wave, who's been waiting very, very patiently. What's going on, my friend? Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, happy Christmas. This is to Mr. Bobby.
All right, yes.
Mr. Bobby. You think I'm not a blue wave guy? I'm going to give you number one, Edward, John Bro, Senator Chris John.
All right.
That's Senator John Bro. Mary Landry, Mitch Landry, Mike Foster.
Oh.
Governor Blanco.
Okay, all right.
Start on jail. Jeff Landry. Now, figure if I'm not a blue wave guy.
Oh, Mr. Blue Wave. Hey, I will say this. You are a consistent gentleman, and you're consistent in your beliefs, and I thoroughly enjoy when you call in.
Wait, hold on. Don't forget the governor, Lieutenant Governor in Louisiana.
Oh, no. Come on, Mr. Blue Wave. He's a Republican, very much Republican.
I know that, but Democrat too.
Okay, all right. I love Mr. Blue Wave. Hey, we're going fishing one day. We're going in the Gulf. My side is the Gulf of America, and I'm going to have my red wave shirt on. He's going to be in the Gulf of Mexico with his blue wave shirt on. I love it. All right, let's go to Miss Tony, bringing wisdom ×2 today. What you got, Miss Tony?
Well, I like what Mr. Blue Wave said about Mike Foster being a Democrat and none-guesser. But, they're historically Democrat families. A lot of our conservatives came from that fold. For Mike Foster, he knew where the fraud was. He knew where the nonsense was. And with Bobby Jindal's help, he met Bobby Jindal in Washington, brought him back to Louisiana, to his home state, I guess. And they cut and closed some agencies. They tightened up a lot of stuff that was going haywire here in Louisiana. Some things never even happened that were coming down the pike. So they saved us a lot of money. What I really wanted to talk about was the montage. You said about the insurance, history of the insurance and what the Democrats and the liberals have been saying about the subsidies in support of Obama's subsidies. Moon had a montage of all the clips that anybody has ever said, and a lot of them were Obama and Schiff and Pelosi and, all the promises. If you want to keep your doctor, you can keep your doctor, whatever. Those were speaking points written by the insurance companies that were going to profit from the Obama subsidies. The legislation itself was written by insurance companies in response to the United States, all the people saying we can't.
Well, hey, Miss Tony, we have to move on. I really appreciate you, my friend. Governor Foster, look, we were kind of picking, Mr. Blue Wave and I. He might not have been picking, but no doubt, especially with the DHS. I think I said that department correctly. Or is it DHH over here? Yeah, DHH on DHS, Department of Homeland Security. Anyway, all these acronyms. But DHH went through a big, massive change here in Louisiana and some other agencies. So that's a good point, Ms. Tony. And all the other stuff on the Obamacare, I'm shaking my head with you on that. And I think a lot of folks are too. Let's go to Warren. He understands it. Warren, what you got, man? What's up?
Well, I've been in the system for 15 years, and I found a holistic doctor that's treating me like your wife treats you. She's smart, you see, because you got miles to go, and she's unchaining you from that healthcare system. She knows what she's doing. So there's a couple of ways we can fix this system. We could find some housewives that know holistic healing like your wife and put them in charge, or we
That
could
would be
tell the
wise.
politicians, the Democrats and the Republicans, that y'all got to get in the same health care system as the rest of us. Then it would get fixed. But the best way would be to let the military take it over and cut out all the fraud and the waste. We would save $1 trillion. We would do great for this country. But they're not about to lose that money, Josh. It's all a bunch of fraud. Thank you.
Thanks, Warren. Well, we know one thing's for sure. Somebody's getting paid. Come on now. And health insurance, we're going to go to Mr. Bobby next, but on health insurance, we're asking the wrong question. And it's frustrating. We know it. We're asking, look what we're talking about right now. Who is going to pay for it? That's the only question we ask. Who is going to pay for it? Is it the government? Is it the private sector? Is it a combination? Is it the business owner? Is it everybody? I don't know. Is it nobody? Who's going to pay for it? And instead of asking, that's why these people should not be in charge. If you can't ask the right questions, then you don't need to be there. We should be asking, why does it cost so much? It's not hard. None of this is hard. It's so laughable to think how easy that job is. It just takes a little guts, a moral compass. I don't even think you need a really good memory if you just write down your promises. You don't make a lot of promises. I mean, because really, if everything's a promise, nothing's a promise. And then you just focus on that. If you just focus on what you promised the folks, man, you're good. Because you may not get reelected, I get it. But you will have done what you said you were going to do, and that is remarkable. Anywho, I digress. Mr. Bobby! What up, Mr. Bobby?
Well, I want to say that Blue Wave must have seen Senator Gerald Boudreaux and Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungasser eating lunch in a restaurant in Baton Rouge.
He might have.
How about that?
He might have.
Out.
He might. He outed us. All right, Sergeant. I think. I don't know if I ever asked Mr. Bobby what his rank was. Who knows?
I'm not sure.
General Bobby. That's what I'm talking about, sir. All right. So let's so all this matters, man. All this matters, and I feel like Republicans, we can do it. We can do it. But we got to do it. Got to like, Hey, and here's a deal. Follow Trump's lead. Just follow his lead on this. This dude is a deal maker. Just go but I do like how even because sometimes the president can be kind of all over the place on this stuff, especially high level, 45,000 like foot view type stuff. Okay. But the president welcomed in. Hey, we're just focusing on these 22 million Americans right now. That's all we're focusing on. We're not focusing on anything else. Let's get the short-term stuff. Let's look at some structural things that can change. But we got to stop asking the wrong questions. Why does it cost so much? Why can't we do the health savings accounts? And what does that look like? Why does government have to be so entrenched? Because here's the other thing about Obamacare and us in Louisiana, and for our viewing and listening audience outside Louisiana, this could happen to you too. I don't know what your circumstances are in your respective states. But we have just under 40%, or right at 40% of our population in Louisiana on Medicaid. That is an extreme government dependence, a dependency on the federal government. Our budget in Louisiana is tied heavily to the federal government because we have allowed that to happen. Now, we had a Democrat governor for 8 years, and couple that with a Democrat president for some of those years, 3 or 4 of those years. That makes a difference. That makes a very big difference. But what I don't understand is when we have a supermajority in the House and a supermajority in the Senate in Baton Rouge, and we have a proclaimed conservative governor in Baton Rouge, why aren't we shrinking that dependency? Now, you can argue that we have. I think it has shrunk like 1% or 2%. But why aren't we talking about that? Why aren't we talking about that? But we want to give the Democrats in Congress a seat. That's what we want to do. We don't want to focus on everybody in the room to talk about insurance. We want to get political points. That's what we want to do. I don't understand it. I don't understand a lot of things, but I understand a break. So we got to take one of those. Tiny little break. And when we get back, man, I'm going to talk about, let's go to New York. We'll go to New York. Why not? I got 2 stories. I'll pick one. How about that? All right, stick around. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show, broadcasting live from the KPEL studios, also on rumble.com, youtube.com, and hello to our KLFY Plus viewing audience. Certainly appreciate you guys. All right, I chose the CDL one. I had two stories here I wanted to cover today. One was on Mary-elect Mondani. I'm not going there. I'm going to go with this CDL one. And it's equally as interesting, I think. All right, so Washington Times is reporting, it's Stephen Dinan that wrote this article, reporting that the Federal Transportation Department, now this might pique your interest, okay, says that New York State has been illegally issuing commercial truck driver's licenses, okay, CDLs, to foreign nationals in direct violation of federal safety rules and common sense. And the state is now facing the loss of tens of millions of dollars in highway funding if it does not come into compliance. All right, so a few little facts here. Federal regulators found that 53%, so silly, 53% of New York's commercial driver's license issued to non-domiciled individuals violated federal law. So more than half of the CDLs issued by the state of New York violated federal law. Now, maybe the federal law is silly. I doubt it on this one. This one might be one where we're kind of want to know, Now, that includes people who were in the country illegally and others whose short-term work permits were turned into long-term licenses lasting up to 8 years. That's a long time. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy, he called New York the worst offender in the country. Well, so these rules predate the Trump administration. I thought that was important to note, and were ignored for years by states and really unenforced by previous presidents. California, Governor Newsom, he faced the same warning and immediately revoked, to his credit, 17,000, or California, I'm saying him, California's credit, 17,000 improperly issued licenses, they were revoked. I believe we talked about that too. New York has not yet complied, and again, they could lose, I think, tens of millions of dollars. That's a lot of money. Give us that to work on our roads here in Louisiana. We got some federal roads that could use some little TLC. Anybody driving out there on one? probably like, yep, I got it, buddy. I got it. All right. Now, this isn't an immigration debate. I want to clarify that. This is I feel like I have to. This is very much a public safety issue that never should have been politicized in the first place. That's the thing. That's why I don't even want to bring the immigration debate. Should have never been politicized in the first place. Public safety should not be politicized. Commercial truck driving is one of the most heavily regulated professions in the country for a reason. And Louisiana knows that. Louisiana has changed all these CDL. Hey, I bet you we got a ton of CDL drivers listening right now. Shout out to our truckers. Shout out to our CDL drivers. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Louisiana passed some pretty serious laws here in the last few years regulating this privilege. Federal law requires that commercial drivers have valid legal status. Come on now. Even Biden didn't repeal that. I thought they were lefties. I thought they didn't. I guess he said I did. I guess he felt like he did his part at the border. He's like, I got you them. I got you the illegal aliens. All you have to do is give them a CDL. Man, New York of all, I guess I don't know. Anyway, yeah, you got to be legal. Shocker. Oh, and also that they got to communicate in English with law enforcement in emergencies. So there is this is a big deal. It's not about ideology. It's about safety. It's about, again, accountability if that matters. And also, Q, basic competence.
Amen.
Come on, man.
Or you remember that accident in, what was it, Florida, where the guy just takes a U-ey on an interstate or major road?
Yeah. Crashed, injuries. But for him being there, that wouldn't have happened. Not at that particular moment. And some people can't even understand. Some people will refuse on the immigration issue to acknowledge even that fact. Like, if we don't understand that fact, like, we breathe predominantly oxygen. That's a fact. We can take notice of that, okay? Well, but for the illegal alien in that situation that caused the harm, but for him being there physically, wouldn't have happened. But you know, some people, now we could debate after that, but some people won't even acknowledge basic facts. See what I'm saying? Guys, I want everyone to have a very merry weekend. See, Christmas season, celebrating the birth of Jesus Christ coming up, our Savior. Guys, everybody have a great weekend. Be careful out there. Thank you for spending 2 hours with us. Thanks for giving us your time, man. We don't take that for granted. Be careful out there. May God bless you.